I think this might be my favorite trend ever. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. You know that, I know that. I'm just a lady with a bulldog, a camera, and too many opinions. And y'all know that I have a lot of opinions about influencers, people who lie to their following in order to profit, get views, clout, all of that. Really just clout goblins overall. And for once, they're exposing themselves. So as y'all know, the government pulled the okie doke on us, like they usually do. I don't know why we're surprised. Regarding TikTok getting banned, there are a lot of conspiracies. I personally think, I already told multiple people. I was like, why do you think his front row looked like that at the inauguration, huh? You don't think that those billionaires bought TikTok from the Chinese? That's neither here nor there or anywhere. Don't mind if I do. Uncle Reggie here, it's me, I'm back. Now, if you know anything about something, you know that the internet is trying to get into your brain. So you got to watch out where that information comes from. Big media is trying to get to you. Just look at me. They already got to me. They got me wearing makeup. And now I know Chelsea talks about schemes. The biggest scheme of them all, X. No, not one of them sites. The one that used to be the Twitter. Just announced its 2025 roadmap to become the everything app. What's that mean? We're talking TV services. We're talking that Elon Musk doing everything. Payments, articles, words, pictures, who knows what else. Now let me repeat myself. That Musk fella with his newfound government position would have unprecedented control over social media, TV, and our monies. And yet absolutely no one on the left is talking about it. I went over to Ground News. Y'all know Chelsea had Wiggum set me up with it. He's just the best. And I found over 60 sources talking about this, talking about that Musk fella. And they're all talking about cryptocurrency's integration. Since he's been talking about that Dogecoin for years. He's been hyping it up. Now, I don't know about any Dogecoin, but if you go down and keep scrolling and scrolling, you'll see how the different sides are spinning it. Chalking it up to WeChat's success in China, while the other side of reality is pointing out how centralized mobile services under one company raises concerns about data privacies, monopolistic controls. For that guy with the little monocle, monopoly. It's a real thing. Did you know that? And potential surveillance risks. What are you doing? I'm just trying to help. I think for a minute. Well, you weren't here doing your job telling them. No, I went to the bathroom. Okay. I'll leave. No, I'm taking the chair with me. I'm taking Wiggum with me too. I'm sure by now you know this is a Ground News ad read, so I'll just try to pick up where he left off, I guess. Ground News is my go-to news platform and one of my favorite sponsors. Not only are they trying to help me with Uncle Reggie, did you see that tinfoil baseball cap? Like what's going on? But they were also founded by a female former NASA engineer who saw a much bigger problem here on Earth other than, up in space or wherever you think the aliens are. And they're the only app out there helping you think for yourself and see all sides. By gathering articles from thousands of sources around the world, organizing them by story, then analyzing the political lean, credibility, and even financial incentives behind each perspective, Ground News makes it easier for me and you to compare coverage and think critically. Follow your favorite topics, and maybe you'll find angles that you haven't even looked at or thought of before, thanks to their blind spot feed. And that surfaces more important news from the right and the left media bubble, because news that you are missing affects you just as much as news that you are seeing. That's a bar right there. Go to ground.news/cc or click the link in my description box to sign up for the plan that I use every day. You'll save 40% off of their Vantage plan, and that knocks down the cost to just $5 a month. So TikTok was banned for what? 6 hours, 16 hours, who knows? But apparently a week leading up to it, a lot of people on TikTok were doing this trend where you're lip syncing to a Peter Griffin from Family Guy saying like, listen, the world's going to end anyways, or whatever, we're all going to die anyways. I've listened to that sound like a billion times. So if I ever hear it again, I might end it all. But it says, I have one last secret to tell you. I never liked The Godfather or whatever. Of course, that is where the influencers come in and they say, since TikTok's getting banned anyways, I have one more secret to share with you. And then incriminating admission here. It is just wild to me because it's like, even if TikTok was going to be fully banned, which I don't think that would have happened, even if it was going away completely, first of all, like don't lie about stuff, obviously, but that's off the table in the situation, I guess. But even if you did do these things, why would you admit to them, especially if you're trying to continue? It's not like the internet got banned. There's still other social media platforms that you could easily attempt to go over to and continue whatever internet career you have going for you. I would say maybe some of these people probably don't have an internet career if it wasn't for TikTok. or off of TikTok. And that could be the case, but most of these people do have a following in other places. And in my opinion, could leverage that and keep it going. But it's just like, y'all are dumb. What are you doing? Now, there were some really funny ones that came out on this. Like the Duolingo owl, their mascot, such a king. They like demasked him. It was so funny. So that was pretty great. But as you can imagine, when the app came back, a lot of people were like, oh, we delete this admission real quick because that looks bad. So a lot of these are gone. I'd say most of these are gone. Like the more serious ones are gone. But thank God for Sammy Sam's life on TikTok because she's got it all here for us. So let's watch some ones that like we still have on the internet and then ones that Sammy, thank God, saved for us and gave like a quick recap and background and all that. Now, my first one here is from Alexandra J. She actually lives in Tampa as well. She's very nice. Y'all probably know her as Sepia Bride, who has now since been going through a sepia divorce. Again, I'm not going to play the sound because, dear God, it is obnoxious. So Sepia Bride had this big drama where she got back the pictures, like the professional photographer's pictures from her wedding ceremony, reception, all that. And there was just such a like filter applied to every single one of the pictures. And like, it seems like they weren't adjusted at all. And everything just looked so orange and sepia or sepia, whatever you want to call it. It just did not look good at all. And it was a big old controversy and really crazy. And then within 4 months, it seems like, I could be wrong. Alexandra, let me know if I'm wrong. Sorry. Within like 4 months of that whole controversy happening, which of course you don't get your like full catalog of pictures right away. I mean, it usually takes like what, a month or two? Photographers, let me know. I'm pretty sure it took mine like 2 months because there were thousands of pictures. So that was like 2 months after her wedding and all that, right? And so like 4 to 6 months, I want to say, after her wedding, turns out she got divorced and she hadn't like talked about it publicly. And I had actually talked to her through DMs and I even was like, girl, yeah, talk about it. Like, people are a-holes. Who cares? Like, just come on. Like, she had talked about it on Instagram, but she doesn't have a big following on Instagram. Like, her big following is on TikTok. And so I even said, not being like taking credit for like, oh, I told her to come out. But like, we had talked about it and stuff. And I had told her like, I mean, who cares? If people don't know you, put it out there. Oh, well, you were honest about like the beginning of it. Let people, if you want to, like ride the wave with you out of it, right? And she actually posted a pretty funny TikTok about it saying like, when you went viral for, you know, being sepia bride, she's doing a little dance, but now you're going through a sepia divorce. It was adorable. I loved it, but good for her. She seems really happy and love that for you. So she did one that was actually like pretty funny and like, I don't think it's harmful. So that's just a good example of like, I would say how to like properly do this trend. I was already in marriage counseling when I shared my wedding photos and left 3 weeks later. The caption says, the photos were still terrible though. Don't regret sharing the experience. I love that. That's a beautiful way to do it. Now I want to go back and forth between like people saying dumb, like people's dumb admissions and then people's like actual like logical takes on this. So this is someone I really like, mutual I have on TikTok, Sincerely Juliana. I really, really like her and I want you to listen to what she has to say. Okay.
If you're dumb enough to do something like that on TikTok, you should get your platform taken away. I didn't know us girls were gonna start acting like freaking idiots at the start of this year. You have a BBL, didn't tell your viewers, faked your workouts, the list goes on. I just think it's so crazy, especially with the BBL one, because let's talk about that one. There are so many insecurities that us girls have. Our societal standards for our physical beauty are so high. You're trying to tell your viewers to get this body, you gotta go in the gym. Get out of here. So ignore my nails. I'm getting them redone, guys, today. And then their apologies like, I'm so sorry, like, didn't mean it like that. Like, straight up said, oh, well, I faked this whole thing. Your whole platform's a freaking lie. Yeah, your viewers are gonna be upset because a lot of them are supporting you, are supporting your lavish livelihood. I don't understand it, nor do I want to. People come on this app, they want authenticity, and you're saying that out loud proudly. Call me dramatic, I really could not care less. That's just dumb. A lot of young girls looking up to you. God, we are so pressured, especially as girls, to put on this persona aesthetic. Just like, nah, like, let's just seriously be ourselves. So I don't know why I have an accent coming out. I feel like when I get heated, like, comes out or something. I don't know. It's just so annoying. I see so many girls working their butts off on this app. I know for a fact what they're posting is authentic and they don't get nearly as many views as you do. If you're a girl posting unrealistic crap you don't even do, I honestly think you should really take a good look at your platform and a good look at yourself. Also, guys, I don't know if you can see, but this is my coffee I made myself. I'm gonna drink it. It's not aesthetic, it's not pretty, and I don't give a crap. I know people are gonna be like, it's not that deep, but I grew up in the YouTube makeup guru era where I was watching Jeffree Star honest reviews. They were giving us the honest crap. That's what I do, and that's what I follow with my content, because like, what the heck? Why wouldn't it be? Michaela posted that mascara thing, like mascara gate. Clearly she had fake lashes. That's what I'm talking about. It's so fake, and then Jeffree Star called her out. The mascara, why are you lying about it? Watching stuff that isn't obtainable, like, it feels like a simulation in a way. Like, call some of these women con women, really taking your money, lying to you, just telling you what you want to hear. They can get that coin. I would hope someone would call me out on it, because take responsibility. Why are you guys telling these adults how to act? They're adults and they're not dumb. They're smart, obviously, because they built these platforms. They know how to act. They don't need someone to baby them around. I love it. Don't be afraid to question some of these creators that you're watching. And to the creators that are doing this, in the wise words of Kim Kardashian, you guys look like freaking clowns. That's it.
Now let's go over to Sammy Sam's life and see the little compilations that she has made. And then I want to discuss as well, like, people's expectations regarding content.
Starting off with Sean Evans, the host of Hot Ones. I just found this one really funny and honestly kind of tragic for Sean. He said, "I don't like spicy foods." That's pretty tough considering his job. Now we have Xandra. Xandra spilt the tea. She revealed that her ex-boyfriend cheated on her. Now this one made me laugh because Duolingo revealed who was wearing the bird costume. It was this guy. He just ripped the costume off. And now we have to talk about what Anna Sitar said, because she built her entire brand around this lie, fib, whatever you want to call it. So she is the another day, another Starbucks girl. Well, turns out, Anna doesn't like coffee. Starting off with Lexi Hidalgo, she actually confessed to lying about two things, and she's getting a lot of heat about it online. She said she only did half the workouts that she posted, and then she said that she never once drank the coffee that she made for her coffee talk videos. Now, I mean, she did lie, but people are literally losing their minds over this one. Then we have Scar Girl, who I thought was going to admit the truth. She posted a video that said the scar did switch sides and was drawn on with a black Sharpie and an eyebrow stamp. But then she backtracked and said, "Just kidding, that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. See you in my comments, stop being weird." I guess we'll never know if the scar was real or not. And then Charlie D'Amelio admitted that she never used an anxiety pen and that was made up. She didn't know who made it up, but she did. Let's start with Judy Hopps Lover 69, aka Nick. As you can tell by his username, he made Judy Hopps from Zootopia his entire personality and even had a bit of a run-in with Disney. But he exposed himself and said that he had never seen Zootopia. Like, at this point, just throw on the movie, man. It's like an hour and a half. Before I show you guys the next person, I wanted to let you know I'm going to make a YouTube video breaking down every single influencer who exposed themselves, so make sure to subscribe. It's linked in my bio. Now let's talk about Carter Kench. I'm going to be so honest, I was not familiar with his work before his video exposing himself went viral, but apparently he posts videos going to different stores trying to find specific Squishmallows. Well, it turns out he wasn't actually finding those Squishmallows in stores, he was ordering them online and then planting them in the stores. Let's start with Sky Sutton. Now this one is a bit controversial. Sky Sutton is a fitness influencer. She posts a ton of workout videos. And she confessed to having plastic surgery, to having a BBL. But apparently she had already confessed this prior. So do with that what you will. Before I tell you the next person, I am making a YouTube video breaking down every single influencer who lied, so make sure to subscribe. It's linked in my bio. Now we have Michaela, Mascara Gate. For those of you who missed it, Michaela went super viral a couple years ago because she was doing an ad for a mascara and she very clearly put on fake lashes. Allegedly, I guess. So did Michaela expose herself? Well, kinda. She said she'd expose herself if TikTok was saved, so Michaela, we're waiting. Let's start off with Melody Miles. Now, Melody Miles has a very recognizable face. She's known for her eyes, her beautiful blue eyes, and her freckles. Like, I mean, she is truly gorgeous, but you'll never guess what she revealed. She said her freckles are not natural. Craziness. Now, before I tell you guys about the next person, I wanted to let you know that I uploaded a YouTube video deep diving into the influencers who exposed themselves as liars, so make sure to watch it. It's linked in my bio. Now we're going to talk about Joe Mile's father. Now, Joe and his dad initially went viral because Joe would have his dad pronounce words in his thick New York accent. Now, Can you guys take a guess as to what they lied about? Now, I'm not 100% sure they weren't lying about the lie, but he says he doesn't actually have a New York accent. Start with Kit Keenan. Now, this one actually made me laugh because I thought it was so obvious. So Kit was on Matt James's season of The Bachelor. It's kind of the forgotten season of The Bachelor because it happened in 2020. But I remember watching her on The Bachelor and I remember thinking, oh my goodness, she's only 21. Is this girl about to get engaged? Well, no, she wasn't, because she confessed that she was on The Bachelor for the wrong reasons. And if you watch The Bachelor, you know what that means. But I mean, it worked out for her. And then we have Alexis Oakley. Now, I am actually a big fan of Alexis Oakley. She is a makeup artist. And genuinely, I had no issue with her confession at all. She admitted to going on Ozempic. Start with the stay-at-home daughter. She went viral for posting these day in a life of a stay-at-home daughter videos a couple years back. Well, turns out she's not a stay-at-home daughter. She's had a corporate job the entire time. Mackenzie Ziegler. This one has me shook, but also at the same time, I'm not really surprised. So if you didn't know, Mackenzie was on Dance Moms. And she said all of her interviews on Dance Moms were scripted. A producer told her what to say. And then we have Haley Bailey. Now, I can't say I'm actually surprised by this one, but she has never publicly confirmed this before. William, her billionaire boyfriend that she always talks about, is not real.
Because I think that some of the outrage on this is like, you're mad about ice cubes? Girl, what? This girl does mukbangs for her content. And with mukbangs, it doesn't always have to be like a huge amount of food. I mean, it typically is. And in my opinion, at least, a lot of times what those videos are for is like, hey, I'm just hanging out with you. And from what I've heard, when people, from people who like to watch that type of content, it's like, yeah, so, I'm like, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not eating alone, like in my house, right? And I get it. Listen, girl, when my favorite people post videos on Fridays, I save that shit, or Thursdays, I save that shit until Friday night, and I order my favorite food, and then I have like so much content to watch, and I love it, and it's my favorite, and I just like girls' night. That's what it is. It do be girls' night. With this, like in my eyes, I don't like it. I feel like it's like pretty. I feel like it's pretty like mid, a 1 out of 10, or a who the fuck cares to diabolical. I would say it's like anywhere from like a third of the way up, because in my mind, it's like, wow, you're wasting a lot of food. What are you doing? That's weird. And then that also, no pun intended, but it also feeds into this, like, I could be wrong, of course, but like the fetishized, like, oh, skinny girls eating so much. It's weird. But, you're into whatever you're into, I guess. Who the cares about ice cubes? It's about aesthetics. Like, that's all. That's why people are watching those videos. So who cares if she doesn't use them? Like, it's the content. It's the entertainment. That's why people are watching it. So I don't know. I'm not really sure why people care about that at all. This is one that I would say would go like halfway up the meter is Meredith. Now, she went viral many, many times, basically built her very successful, almost mainstream career by now because of the content that she made, where she slathers like entire bottles worth of foundation on her face. And it's like, girl, that's not how you do your makeup. I've been saying that for years. I'm like, this is not a method that people use and that would work. And this is gross. Like, what are you doing? It got her a ton of views. It basically made her famous. And it's based on a lie, and it's just so wasteful. I feel like a lot of this is just like the wasteful aspect of it. I'm not a fan of that. Being someone who is like actually testing products and doing sponsorships and stuff like that, like it's based on a lie. It's the same thing with the Stanley Cup girls. Do you think they actually walk around with a miniature backpack on their Stanley and like 6 phones attached to it? And probably not, or at least I would forking hope not, because I will karate chop that out of your hand so quick. I literally just have to poke it and it's so heavy you're falling over. Like, what are you doing? So another example of one that literally doesn't matter is Sean Evans of Hot Ones. Anyways, he has said multiple times, if you have watched that show a lot, like I have over the course of its airtime, runtime, whatever you want to call it, he has said multiple times like that his butthole's burning and that he like doesn't actually like really enjoy like hot or spicy food. Do you think you would after years and years and years of consuming that type of food? No. Xandra Pohl, whatever her last name is, I don't know. Listen, a lot of these people, I'm like, they're famous for insert reason here. Whatever. She has over 1.3 million followers, and it says that she's a crazy blonde Miami DJ. Yeah, she posted that her ex cheated on her. And then she posted this one that I thought was really cute.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did.
And apparently a lot of people were like, girl, we know he cheated on you. Which I also love. I don't love that she got cheated on, but like I love that a lot of people are like, girl, we know. And then posting this to like get your following up on another social media platform, like that's smart as well. But it seems like collectively a lot of people are like, hey, we don't care about that. We want to know about your friendship drama and friendship breakup and all that. A lot of the ones that are like, what? have gotten deleted already, but I think that these ones are important to go over as well, just to ground us in the situation, okay? So there's this other girl, Anna something. Listen, I'm employed. I don't know who these people are. I'm hardly employed. Anyways, so this other girl who does like a series, another day, another Starbucks, whatever, and she's like, hey, I don't even like coffee, which also like who does? Gross. It's just like shrimp. No one actually likes shrimp. Shrimp's disgusting. Now here's one that they, like one of the things that they admitted was like, okay, who cares? But then another thing is like, if you're profiting off of this, that is false advertising. So this girl, Lexi Hidalgo, did a series like Coffee Talks, and she said like she never once drank the coffee in her Coffee Talks videos, which is like, okay, who cares? That's like having like also she paired that with, oh, and I only did like half of the workouts that I posted. And it's like, ooh, okay, I don't love that. Now, again, along the lines of like Lexi and some other people too, if your most popular videos or most popular like video series is something that is helping you sell things, fitness routines, things like that, and you're like not actually doing it, then like, yes, you're building your following and profiting off of like a lie and a facade. Okay. But like, hey, if you're not drinking the coffee in your videos and it's purely just like a prop and you're not reviewing anything or anything like that, then okay, who cares? And then there's this one creator who made a series called like A Day in the Life of a Stay-at-Home Daughter, and feel like that's just satire. Like that's just, isn't it obvious that that's a joke? Right? And she came out and was like, hey, I had a corporate job the entire time. I was not a stay-at-home daughter. Like critical thinking is not super common on TikTok, I feel like. So like I said, a lot of these are like people just hopping on the trend to, go viral again. And it's not, a lot of these are, I don't want to say like something that people like don't care about. Like, yeah, a lie is a lie. I get it. But there are things that are so much less serious. And it's just like, it's a skit. It's satire. It's like a bit. Like, who cares? The ones that like I love are the ones that like seep through where it's like, girl, why didn't you just admit that? Like, what are you doing? But I think that really shows the level to which these people like think that their arguably more serious lie is like unserious. And then now this guy, y'all probably saw, the real like first time I ever saw him was when he was donating a bunch of squashmallows to some like organization for the fires in California. And I love that. I love that so much. And some people are like, people don't need that. And it's like, if you're a kid and you just lost everything, like that brings you so much comfort in the moment. Like, yeah, they do need that. Okay. They do need squashmallows. Also, that can double as a pillow. He had a lot of content, or has a lot of content about, going to different stores and finding them and blah, 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 and like hunting down like the perfect one. And turns out he said he just ordered all of them online. If that is true, who cares? Right? Like, now this one is probably the most talked about one in my opinion, and that is Sky Sutton, who is a fitness influencer, and she admitted to getting a BBL, but apparently previously she has already admitted to getting a BBL and to getting cosmetic procedures and surgeries done. But here's the thing is, yes, to be able to maintain, and like it's kind of the same with people being like, oh well, like that girl who weightlifts like isn't like, they're not natty, meaning like they take enhancement, steroids, injections, whatever. And it's like, okay, but the injection, the medication, whatever, isn't going to give you that body. Like, it enhances the results, but it's not going to give you that body. And so I do think I'm on like both sides of it. I'm like, hey girl, I hate that. I think that on every single thing you sell and everything that you, literally almost every single thing you post should, and I know it's annoying, but like you should have a disclaimer of, oh, like these are the workouts I'm doing. And if you're selling something, then yeah, absolutely. And, promoting something, fudge, yeah, absolutely. Doing a before and after. There's this one lady, this one broad, as Cheryl and Dale would say, who posts before and afters saying like, oh, this is my before and after. And look what this collagen, whatever that I'm, that I promote did to my body. I'm like, looks so much better. And it's like, girl, first of all, you sell wigs on the internet. And listen, they're not all shitty, but she upcharges a shit ton. And I hate it. I think her name's Amanda. Her name on the internet is like Rebel or something. And it's like, probably shouldn't be using a slur in your thing. But that person is always like, oh, like, look how, before and after, buy this is what helped. And it's like, no, it didn't. You got a BBL. And if you have it done the right way, then all the fat cells from the lipo in your midsection are taken out. And then you're not going to gain weight in that area. Also, like, the weight has to go somewhere if you gain weight, though. So, like, be careful. But we're talking about it was not collagen. So that type of thing is infuriating to me. And that woman, like, doesn't talk anymore about having a BBL. And it's like, you're covered in tattoos. And the plastic surgeon literally showed before and afters. And it's like, hey, that's you. We can identify your body because of those tattoos. So that's really frustrating. And I hate that. I think that this person should have been way more transparent about it. And it's like, okay, well, if you admit it once, like, all right. But I don't know. It's weird. Like in a post that I did on Instagram, listen, my butt looks really good in that picture. I don't know if obviously it's because of the Sculptra injections, but it's also like the way I was standing and the jeans. I'm actually wearing them today. I love them. They're from Target. I'll link them below. It's Sculptra glute injections. That's what it is. I literally even tagged my injector on my butt cheeks on that picture. Then again, I'm also the person who documents all of them, puts it on the internet. And that was like a partnership and I got the injections for free. Anyways, so wow, look, transparency. It's just wild that it's like, well, I already talked about it once. And it's like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. With how the TikTok algorithm works and you're selling things and promoting things, like, girl, you need to have a proper disclaimer. Like, that's unethical. That's not okay. And I hate that. With the clout-o-meter, the goblin-o-meter, whatever we're calling it, that breaks it. That shatters it, girl. And then there was also something that she posted, I think, again, it could have been someone else, that was like, oh, it was a joke. Was it a joke? Doesn't seem like it. There's obviously a spectrum here. There's a sliding scale. Some of these things I'm like, who cares? Other things I'm like, hey, straight to jail. Do I wish that it was messier? From what I've seen, and hey, I could be wrong, it seems like the majority of these are things where it's like, yeah, we knew that. Or like, well, obviously, instead of things that are like, oh, you just admitted that publicly? Like what? So I feel like really only, let's say 15% of them, or even 10% of them are things that like, I guess I would say like are like kind of valid-ish of people to like be upset about. But I'd say most of them are things that could have been assumed or it says, who cares? Who cares? All right, that's it. I really thought that like because of like the headlines I saw and like just hearing about this in general, I really thought that it was going to be like so much more serious than it actually has been. And hey, maybe I'm like late to the game and these people like deleted their posts already and like any trace of it and like no one saw it or something. So maybe I'm just way out of touch. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Were there some that I missed? Because definitely let me know and I'll make an update video. All right. Well, I had to go check my email because I just, before I filmed this, I sent over an email to the micro bakery girl for one final update. I would have commented on her posts on Instagram, but she blocked me, so I can't do that. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, night, weekend, whatever, whenever you're watching this, and your butt looks so good if you're subscribed. Now, that's only if you're subscribed. Did you know that? If you're subscribed, your butt looks good. Your coffee's going to taste so good. You're going to have such a smooth morning poop. Your bed's going to be so warm tonight. You're going to probably have like 30 minutes is too long, like 15 solid minutes of like really good foreplay. Really good. Like super spicy. And you're all caked up on a Tuesday. However, if you're not subscribed, I don't know why you're here. The good news is all it takes is to subscribe. Your butt will look good. And all of those other things will come true too, allegedly, maybe. I don't know. Hi, friends. So I have an update, rather a correction. I don't know what this is. Hey, how you doing? First of all, can we just like appreciate that booty? Because listen, even if she has had, fat transfer into them cheeks or them hip dips, she's still clearly like working out a ton. Like that doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't negate the fact that she is working out a bunch. Like you don't get those legs from just a BBL. Okay. So I do just want to make that clear. It does look like she deleted the video where she like did the trend. I'm confused as to why. I'm pretty sure I already said this in the video, but I'm very confused as to why no one screen recorded it. Like, what are y'all doing over there? So can find no trace of it, but multiple people have said that that's what she did. And it's just really strange to me because people keep saying that multiple fitness influencers have done that, participated in that trend in that way. And I'm just real confused because I'm like, okay, well, where are all these videos? Because one, the internet's forever. Two, even if they did delete it, like there would be re-uploads, there would be people stitching it, there would people, it would be on Reddit, okay? And I cannot find it for the life of me. So if you can find it, please link it in the comments below. I will try to approve those comments whenever any links are left in comment sections, at least on my page. It's always in the held for review folder. So I will try to go in there and approve those, and then I'll link it in my description box if I can find it or if someone links a good one. Anyways, okay, so that's that on that. Shout out to Sammy Sam's Life for doing a bunch of compilations to help us put this information out. I say help us, she doesn't know we exist. And then also shout out to Suzanne Lambert on TikTok. If you're not following her, please do. I really do just love her. I feel like I forgot how much I love her. Fun fact, I was about to say we grew up together. That's not accurate. We grew up around the same people is a better way for me to describe that. We have a lot of mutual friends. She's from Tampa too. And I just really love her a lot. And she's a good human. She was at my wedding. That's a fun fact too. She was in like one of the front rows at my wedding. Anyways, so make those cheeks clap for my channel, babe. And for you too. Benefits you even more, honestly. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.